Okay, folks, here's a quick review of the Rocket Raccoon figure that was produced by Hasbro as a part of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Guardians of the Galaxy line of 6-inch scale action figures. This figure also came with a piece for the group Build-A-Figure that I'll show you later on in the review. Okay, Rocket Raccoon has been very hard to find in my area. As of this recording, I've only seen him one time, and I have yet to see him again in any brick-and-mortar store in my area. Okay, the articulation joints were quite limited on this figure, and I also had a very hard time in getting Rocket Raccoon's head to move properly. Anyway, Rocket Raccoon has articulation in the head, shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, and in the tail. Rocket's head can move left to right, but it doesn't appear to have any up and down movement. There's no hip, knee, or ankle articulation on this figure. However, I did find that there is a minimal abdominal crunch joint. Now, the tail on this figure does seem to help him stand up pretty well without having to use a figure stand. Although, I will admit, it does get a little bit tricky to get Rocket Raccoon to stand up properly when he's holding on to either of the included accessories. I do think that the lack of articulation in this figure is very disappointing, especially when you take into account that Rocket Raccoon is featured so prominently in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But at the same time, I do feel it's not a bad resemblance of how Rocket Raccoon appeared. Okay, the paint apps on the figure were done well with no appreciable errors to speak of. So let me pause here, zoom in, and I'm going to give you a closer look as to what Rocket Raccoon looks like. Okay. All right, as I said, Rocket Raccoon did come with some accessories, so let me take a break here and I'm going to show you what those look like. Okay, first up, here is Rocket Raccoon's laser rifle, and I believe we saw him toting this weapon around in the opening moments of the movie. Okay, next up, here's another one of Rocket Raccoon's weapons. Now, I think this is the accessory that we saw being used against Ronan the Accuser in the final moments of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And as you can see, this has some nice detailing on it. And finally, here is the included piece for the group Build-A-Figure. This is the head and the upper torso. Okay, what I'm going to do now is a quick 360 of Rocket Raccoon for you and let you see what he looks like from all sides. So here he is from the front. Okay, here is Rocket Raccoon from the left-hand side. Here he is from the rear. Okay, here is Rocket Raccoon from the right-hand side. Okay, and finally, here we are once again facing forward. So overall, you know what? I have to say that this figure is just, it's fair to good. The paint apps were done well, and as I said earlier, it's a good resemblance to how Rocket Raccoon appeared in the movie. But, you know what? There's barely any articulation options available, and that really is disappointing. So therefore, I have to say that this figure, it gets a fair to good recommendation from me. Even though it is a good resemblance to how Rocket Raccoon appeared in the movie, I still think this is definitely one of the weaker Guardians of the Galaxy movie figures that I've looked at. And in fact, you know what? I think I'm just going to rank Rocket Raccoon just a shade above Gamora in, you know, that it's so weak. And I think that this Rocket Raccoon figure is best suited for those who are diehard Guardians of the Galaxy movie fans looking to complete a set of the characters from the film. But as I said in the beginning of the video, it is hard to find this figure, so please don't give in to the scalpers, as you know what, this figure, it's just not worth an increased price tag in my opinion. Okay, so on that note, take care and stay tuned for my next review. Have a good one.